Pardon me. Need a drink of raspberry iced tea.
Ah, well, there you go. Time to hydrate. Got to remember to hydrate when you're smoking cigars and talking a lot, right?
Yeah. Now, I got to sit down, Liz and I actually got to sit down recently with Lorenzo Orsi and Wes Gensel of Monte Pascoal Cigars, Tobaccos, Modafina. We're going to play that interview here in just a minute. But one of the things that I found about that during that conversation that came out very interesting, of course, these Monte Pascoal cigars are created in Brazil. The tobacco's all grown there. The cigars are manufactured there. And Brazil is going through a little bit of what the FDA has threatened us with. Actually, they're going through a lot of what the FDA has threatened us with and a lot of regulations. And that's why I thought this particular interview would be very interesting for our listeners, because it does talk about what it's like to try to be in the cigar business in Brazil. So here's Lorenzo Orsi and Wes Gensel of Tobaccos Modafina.
Oye, Luis. Oye, recojamos el solo y vamos para el Sandino. Y hoy piseamos pan. Santa palabra.
Hey, Dogwatch listeners, Bob McDuffie here with Lorenzo Orsi and Wes Gensel from Monte Pascoal Cigars. We're out in beautiful Vero Beach at the brand new Monte Pascoal offices, and we'll show you a little bit of that later too. But wanted to talk, Lorenzo's all the way here from Brazil, so I want to talk with these guys a little bit about what's going on with Monte Pascoal. And you recently got a great rating in Cigar Journal, the most recent issue of Cigar Journal. How's that feel?
Good. This, I think, it's again a recognition of a work that we have been doing, step by step, with a lot of care, a lot of attention. So for us, it's we are proud of this good review.
But it's not really a surprise. You shouldn't be surprised by it, right? You know you make good cigars.
Yeah, I think it's more of just a good recognition for us.
How's it going building the brand? It's been a while since we talked to you. It's still a fairly new brand here in the U.S. How's that building going? You guys getting spread out across the country and everything?
Yeah, our in the United States we're in over 30 states now. So the distribution has gone very well. We've got more of a step-by-step process. We're taking everything step by step, very slow but calculated, making sure that our customer service is taken care of, quality of our product, and just all around doing good business. So.
Because it's been over the last year, you've grown with your location here in the States. You've now got the office. You've got a 2-person office, so you're not trying to do all the travel and all the bookkeeping and everything yourself. So right. You're getting to spend a little bit more time at home.
A little bit, but I'm on the road a lot. I am on the road a lot. I'm the face of the brand here in the United States, so I really love getting out there and getting feedback from people and doing events and really just promoting the brand. Yeah.
So, Lorenzo, glad to have you in the U.S. You don't get here too often on cigar business. I know you travel all the time for all kinds of businesses. How's the cigar industry doing down in Brazil? How's it look from the Brazilian side of the curtain?
Well, in Brazil, we'll talk a little bit Monte Pascoal. Monte Pascoal, it's doing very well. I think pretty soon, I'm not sure if already we are one of the leaders in Brazil with the brand Monte Pascoal. We have been growing this year. We have been doing very well. We just expanded our business to other states in the country, but the main goal that we achieved now is that we just got in last month in the duty-free shops of the international airports of São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. And the beginning reports of the sales in those stores are very good. So it's another step that we just achieved. So for us, Brazil is doing pretty well. Now, talking about a little bit the Brazilian market in general, we are suffering a lot, mainly because of the restriction of Anvisa. Anvisa is what we call here in the U.S. the FDA, that takes care of all the tobacco issues and laws and regulations. We just had new laws that pass in Brazil that to you to have an idea, well, in 2 years we won't be able to sell in the country anymore any flavored cigarillos like nargile, tobacco. It's done.
I know they think that's protecting they think we sell flavored cigars to kids is, always the excuse they use for that kind of thing.
They also say that they use that, mainly in cigarettes because let's say that covers the bad taste of the cigarettes or the cigar,
Right.
They come up with, several excuses, but what I think is that in the end it's what I always used to say, they are just avoiding us to do what people, like the freedom of the people. I think everybody should decide what is best for each one, knowing all the risk that is involved, because this is the same when you drink something, alcohol. We know that if you drink too much, it's not going to be good.
It's an adult choice, and a choice adults should make. Now, you guys are kind of living the future of the U.S. down there in Brazil. Because we're fighting that FDA regulation, and some of the things they're looking to do here are things like registration of the brands and chemical analysis, and people are kind of up in arms about that. We just did the big thing up, but you guys are already living with that. How's that work down there?
To you to have an idea how it works today. Like if you want to sell Monte Pascoal, you have to register not only the brand, but you have to register each size. And for each size, you have the taxes, you have the fees that are very expensive, and they require the lab tests that you have to do for each size. Another problem that for me I think it's something that it's amazing. You require a lab test that it's impossible to be done in your country. So I have to go to England, to Canada, everything in dollar, it's much more expensive because we don't have the structure to achieve the requirements that they want, but you have to have them, and you have to do that if you want to be 100% legal.
And you don't just do that once. When you decide to bring out the brand, we've been through this on the show. You think about doing a brand, you have to do the blend, you have to do all the packaging and the trademarks and stuff. And you do that, and you think, okay, now I'm done. But
no, every year.
Every year.
Every year. And you know what? From 1 year to another, they give a 10% discount on the fee.
All right.
That is what.
So if you last long enough, it'll go away.
Yeah.
Well,
so.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's really here in the U.S. we are facing the same kind of regulations, and it's a critical point right now in the history of cigars in the United States, with the FDA trying to get involved with cigars. And I think our biggest job is separating our cigars from cigarettes, because we're a totally different industry, and unfortunately I think we get lumped into that category. So I think that's really our biggest fight, is separating ourselves as a unique industry, an industry that's for adults, that choose their own, that have their own ability to choose what they want to do. And I think it's just, if you look at what happens in Brazil, you can see where things could go here in the U.S. So,
it's very scary.
Yeah.
And how does that's a lot of cost. Obviously, it makes a brand very expensive from year to year, not just initially, but from year to year. It just adds to that cost. How does that affect your ability to come out with new lines, or say a special limited edition line?
Completely, because we have customers that requires us, new size, special edition, but the problem is that the cost for a new size is so high that most of the time it's just unfeasible. It's something that you put in numbers. If you make the calculus to say, okay, I'm going to do just for a pleasure of giving the satisfaction, fulfill the satisfaction of my customer, and I'm going to make zero money, I will do that. But the problem is that most of the time you're going to lose a lot of money. So it's impossible to do that.
Yeah, you can't even break even. And how does that affect you then on a competitive basis, even with coming here to the U.S.?
Like an example, to the U.S., you see Monte Pascoal, there are 6 sizes on the market. If you compare to most of the brands, you say, wow, it's very few. Because I see, like big brands, with that are renowned, in the U.S. market. There are several from different countries. You see that their lines are very complex. There's so many different blends, so many different sizes. Things that I think it's very important for a brand, because you can give different experience, different tastes of the tobacco. You can play with the blend, with the Brazilian tobacco leaf, but it's something that for us in Brazil nowadays is a big problem. Now there is a little light in the end of the tunnel. I was just telling this to us today in our meeting, because passed a law in December of 2011 that all the brands, cigar products and tobacco products that are focused and exclusively destined for the export for the foreign countries, you will not be required to be registered at Anvisa FDA in Brazilian. So this is something that we are now, as soon as it's a very right new law, we are with our lawyer, taking care of everything to be 100% sure. But if this is something that I believe, so probably in the future we'll be able now to move a little bit more in the foreign market.
Great.
So for the U.S., probably you'll see a lot of change. Like we are going to be able to increase our line, to come up with special edition, to bring a little bit more of the Brazilian tobacco, to a little, play with the tobacco leaves that we already use to different blends, and so I think this is something that might happen pretty soon.
Yeah. It'll help put you on more of an even footing with some of the companies in Nicaragua, the Dominican, where they have those free trade zones.
Sure.
They can't sell locally. You go to those countries, you can't buy those cigars anywhere in country, and that's unfortunate. A great Brazilian cigar, you're going to be put in a position where you can't sell it in Brazil.
Yeah, but I'm still in the position that in Brazil I'll have a huge line, let's say for Europe, for United States, but for Brazil will be a very limited one, because it's impossible to talk about like 20, 30 sizes in one cigar line.
Here.
It's somewhat of a catch-22. But, I mean, for us, hearing that news that they're going to allow the cigars to come to the U.S. without the registration fees is very exciting, because it opens up the door for us to expand. So.
Well, and it gives you a little bit more of an even footing with the competition. I mean,
Right.
It's tough when everybody has the fixed costs of the tobacco and the band and the box and the labor that goes into all those things, but to add on those onerous taxes and registration fees just puts you behind the 8 ball right off the bat. Sure. It's hard to catch up. Yeah. But you guys are doing a great job. I mean, you have a great cigar, you have nice packaging, it attracts people to the cigar, and then they smoke the cigar. And everybody loves this. It's a beautiful Brazilian, I want to stress again, it's a Brazilian Puro, Mata Fina, Mata Norte tobaccos, and the best in country. But you've started a project to grow some of your own tobacco as well. How's that going for you?
It's going very well. It's we have been working on this project. It's already 2 years. You know that as soon as we grown 2 years ago, there are still some more time before the tobacco is ready. But we have developed 2 types of tobacco: the Mata Fina, grown by our own production, and the Mata Bom Sucesso. That it's another variation of Brazilian tobacco, that it's something new, that we just are growing. We are starting now, making some tests, and I can assure you that you'll be surprised in future cigars that will reach the U.S. market.
I'm sorry. I just want to cut it because just want to explain. The name of our new facility is called
Bon
Sucesso, which is translated into English as good fortune.
Okay.
So not only the facility is named Bon Sucesso, but the new variety of Montefina is Bon Sucesso as well.
Yeah. So I don't even have to ask you the question now because I know the answer. You've got plans for some new stuff, and we'll look forward to that. I'm not going to put you on the spot, tell me what that is, but we've got IPCPR coming up. I'm sure you're getting ready for that. You know, with a new tobacco, I know you got new cigars.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately for this IPCPR, we will be not ready yet because the tobacco, there is all the process of fermentation and everything. I'm delighted, and I can tell you that the first thing that we wanted is like to make all the effort to reach the IPCPR, but we don't want to get the risk, to come with too young tobacco, so we want to give the correct time for that. Also, we are just finishing this year, all the investment on the facilities because we are building, all the sheds for drying the tobacco, all the sheds for the new plant. We just moved the plant, all the sheds for the fermentation process, everything. So I think that for 2013, we'll have good surprises for the.
We always talk about it takes 3 years from the time you harvest till we see something on the shelf from it. Now, in the great tradition of cigar companies, and I say that very generously because I think people don't realize how much charity goes on from the tobacco industry. But you guys are all doing that as well with your new facility. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing down there?
Yeah, we have. You can see that with the new facility, I think not only talking about charity, but how many new jobs we are making, because we came with a structure that was just a cigar plant where we used to buy the tobacco, and now with all the grown and everything, you to have an idea, we just hired like more than 50 people.
Wow.
So it's it's a lot of people, it's a lot of families that are involved in the process. So, and this helps. It's it's family that are involved with wood companies that work to make us the boxes. So it's a business that it's growing, and you have not only the direct jobs, but even the indirect jobs, people that are involved.
And there's a lot of things actually on site in the facility for the employees. As you know, Brazil is almost 100% Catholic, the country. So it's a very good move. Lorenzo has built a chapel for all the employees right on site, so that they have the opportunity to express their beliefs and in a comfortable environment. So
make it a safe environment,
right,
comfortable for them.
This is also a very old tradition from the fields in Brazil that you always had in the big farms. Mainly the ones that are very away from the big cities, chapels, where people can go, the workers and everything. So this is one of the things that we are also doing.
Just one of another way that the tobacco industry helps take care of the people that work for them. They're not just employees.
Yeah. And here in the U.S., we've done a few events for charity, and believe it or not, just yesterday we did. I love doing local things around here as well. We just did a cigar event for the Education Foundation of Indian River County. So we do little things like that on the U.S. side as well, which is nice.
We also this kind of action we do very constant in Brazil. We do a lot of auctions for charity. We just participated. You probably know that I think it's this the celebration of the Queen of England. We just received the Prince Charles in not Charles, Harry in Brazil, and we participated with his charity auction in Campinas with a set of cigars and everything that was auctioned and got a lot of money for his charity.
Yeah, it's not always obvious to the public how much the tobacco industry does behind the scenes. So it's good to get a little of that out. Well, it sounds like you guys have some great things going on and certainly still making a great cigar. Look forward to that, and glad they're spreading out so wide, because I know our listeners are really enjoying them and look forward to getting a hold of them. So thanks for your time, gentlemen. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Bob. I have to thank you, Bob, again. That's my second opportunity to be talking to you. The first time was from a video conference, and now personally much better here in this beautiful place.
Yes.
This nice weather. I just have to thank you with your, that you have been very near to us. Since the beginning, you have followed a lot of the steps, and we just have to thank you for your effort, for your support.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My wife and I both fell in love with your cigar, so it's really a pleasure to stay in touch with you guys and get to feel like a little bit of a part of it.
Yes. Well, we've enjoyed growing the relationship, and we're kind of like neighbors. So we're not actually, geographically,
we're just 20 miles north of you. So it's nice, and it's a nice office. We'll get some more shots of that in a minute. So.
And in the future, this kind of interview we're gonna make in the middle of our fields back in Brazil.
That's right.
My passport's ready. Whenever, just make the call. I'm ready to go. No problem there.
Oye, Rey, te estamos viendo loco. ¡Loco! ¿Qué te pasa, Rey? Háblame de frente, Rey.
Well, I hope you can see from that interview with Lorenzo and Wes just how difficult the government can make cigar manufacturing. I mean, what these guys have to go through to get they have regulations down there that they have to conform to in terms of getting the cigars analyzed, that nobody in the country can do it. They can't, there's no laboratory in the country that can do it, so they have to send their cigars to England and Switzerland, et cetera, to get this chemical analysis done on every size in a particular line, and every year, over and over again, they have to do this. Not a small feat.
Not at all. And what a pain for no real positive outcome.
It just adds a lot of cost. And remember, that's why we're pushing this FDA legislation. You can still sign the petition, show your support up at cigarrights.org or at ipcpr.org. Yeah, we've got over 26,000 signatures on a petition, which means we're going to get the White House's response. I guess there's some rule that says if you get more than 25,000, you get a response from them. So we're looking forward to that. I wouldn't expect it to be particularly enlightening response.
But it gets their attention a little bit.
It sure does. And it gets the attention of Congress. Very definitely. So that's something to look forward to.